You have three objectives from this lecture. First, you will create scenarios for all the mappings and procedures which you want to include in the load plan. You will understand the steps in load plan and then you will create the load plan. You need to generate scenarios for each of the mappings and procedures you want to add in the load plan, because load plan only accepts scenarios. Go ahead, right click on the mapping, select generate scenario and do that for each of your mapping. Click on load target city, right click generate scenario, click on OK. You got scenario created for TRG customer, TRG city. Do the same thing for TRG country. And TRG product. Likewise, do the same thing for TRG product family. There is a warning about the size, but you can ignore it for now. Go ahead, create scenario for TRG region. Then TRG sales. Likewise, create scenario for the procedure also, the delete targets. Right there, you got the scenario. Okay, I think we are ready to create the load plan. However, before we do that, let us make sure all the mapping components which we want to include in the load plan, all the mappings and all the procedures have scenarios generated for them. Let's look at that. Load TRG customers has scenario, load TRG city has scenario, load TRG country has scenario, product has scenario, product family has scenario, TRG region has scenario, and TRG sales has scenario. And procedure, yes, it has scenario. This is one way of ensuring that all your components has scenario generated for it. Other way is you can directly go to this section, load plan and scenario, and all your scenarios are there. Very good. Let's go ahead and start creating load plan. Click here and say new load plan. Right here, our load plan screen. Okay, let's call it my very first load plan, and then go to steps. Over here, root step is automatically created by ODI. Other steps you will create by clicking on this add step button. Let us spend some time here. The serial step means anything under that step will run in sequence. In load plan, you put steps, and under those steps you put scenarios. If your step is serial step, all the scenarios under that step will run in sequence one after the other. If it is a parallel step, all the scenarios under that step will run together at the same time. Let's begin developing it and you will understand it. Click on serial step. Keep that step highlighted and go back to the plus icon and select run scenario step. Over here you are going to first select the scenario delete targets. This scenario deletes all the target tables. It has procedures to delete all the target tables. So let's add this first. After this, let's put one more scenario in the same step. Keep the serial highlighted, go back to the plus, select run scenario step, click on this icon, the lookup icon, and let's select load TRG customer. What you done here is you are telling load plan that you delete all the target tables and after that start loading the customers. So far so good. Now let us go by the consideration that once the target tables are deleted and after that customer table is populated, all other tables can be populated together. There is no dependency. Let's go ahead and add a parallel step. Click on plus and select parallel step. Keep the parallel step selected and then go back and say run scenario step. This time select load TRG city, then add, go back to parallel step and run scenario step and select load TRG country. All of these can run parallel. Once more, city got populated, countries populated. Next, product family. You got product. It's time to select product family. So far so good. These are all master tables. They are not related to each other, so they all can be populated together. And region. At the end of this step, you will have all your master tables, customer, city, country, product family, region populated. It's time to think about transaction tables now. The master tables, customer, city, country, product family, region. These tables will be populated by these steps in the load plan. Transaction tables population should start only after these tables are populated. That means there should be a serial step after these parallel steps got completed. So go back here, click on serial, click on plus and add another serial step and add scenarios to this serial step. Run scenario step, click here and then select the transaction table population. Load transaction cells, that's one scenario which populates the transactions. Let's say this is end of your load plan. This is what you wanted to achieve in this load plan. Delete all the target tables, then populate all the master table, and after that populate this transaction sales table. Save it. And close it. Here you go. Your load plan is created and it is under load plans and scenarios section. If you double click on that, it will show your load plan. Go to steps and you can see all the steps. Good job. You are going to run this load plan in next lecture. Open command prompt. You will be in home Oracle directory. Change the directory to U01 and then change the directory again and go to middleware. Under the middleware, you change the directory to ODI12C. Inside ODI12C, go to Oracle_common and then go to common and go to bin. You should be in the directory shown here. Once again, make sure you are in the correct directory and then run this command ./config.sh and wait for configuration wizard to open. It might take few minutes, so have patience. Here it comes. Yep, right there, configuration wizard. Wait for few minutes. Here you go. Configuration wizard has opened. Click on create a new domain. Domain location will default. Make a note of it. And in the template, select Oracle Data Integrator Standalone Agent. Click on next. JDK version is already there. No need to change anything here. Just click on next. Very good. Over here, put schema owner as prod_stb, host name localhost, and schema password will be Oracle. And click on get RCU configuration. Right there, if you see this message successfully done, click on next button. No need to do anything here. Click on next. Over here also click on next. Click on next. Over here it will ask you supervisor username and supervisor password. Put the username as supervisor. No change here. Click on finish button and wait for this to become 100%. Once it is 100%, click on next. And here you go. You have successfully installed the standalone agent. Click on finish. After this, go to the directory which you have put during the first step. Most probably it will be middleware ODI 2LC user projects, domains and base domain directory. Over there in bin subfolder you will have start node manager.sh. Double click on that. It will open the script. Monitor that terminal and wait for the successful message. Once you get this successful message, secure socket listener started on port and the port number. That means the node manager has started. Keep this window open, do not close it, and go to the terminal, open new terminal, and over there go to this directory u01 middleware, and under there go to ODI 12C, then go to user projects and domains. This is same directory which you gave in the first step while installing the standalone manager. Go to base domain and after that go to bin subfolder. Over there you have a file called agent.sh. Now run this command ./agent.sh -name equal to Oracle DI agent 1. This is case sensitive, so make sure Oracle DI agent 1 is written exactly as it is shown here. Wait for the successful message. This is going to start the standalone agent, and the name of the standalone agent is Oracle DI agent 1. It might take few minutes. Wait. Okay, the message started coming. Wait for the successful agent start message. Right there it says container standalone agent and it gives you the port number. It says Oracle DI agent 1 is starting, JMX port is 21910. Agent is starting. Wait for the successful message. Allowing, yes. Have patience, it's coming, it's coming. Very good. Starting scheduler. Awesome. Scheduler started for work repository on agent Oracle DI agent 1. Very good. This is the message we were waiting for. Now go and start ODI 12C Studio. This is the last step. You have done very good so far. Awesome. ODI Studio is starting. Log in to ODI Studio. Connect to repository. The wallet password is welcome1. OK. Make sure you are connecting to ODI getting started with supervisor user and password, and go to topology, physical architecture agent, and right click new agent. The name here will be same as the one you started, Oracle DI agent 1. This is case sensitive, it should look exactly same. Port number no change, all other details no change, just put the name and click on test. Wait for the success message. Awesome, your standalone agent has started. Next, you are going to create the logical agent. Once again, go to logical architecture, agent, and right click new logical agent. Give the same name here, Oracle DI agent 1. You can give any logical name. Let's put the same though, and select the physical agent, the one you created. Now you are done. You created the standalone agent. You have two objectives from this lecture. First, run the load plan, and then monitor the execution of that load plan in ODI operator tab. Very good. In previous lecture you have created the load plan. It's time to run it now. Open the load plan and click on execute. For load plan you will need logical agent. This is the logical agent you created in previous lecture. Select that. Log level will indicate how much detail you need in your log file. Normally in projects we select 5. That has enough details which will help you to diagnosis in case if any step goes in error or any problem happens. Let's pick 5 and say OK. Wait for a few minutes. You will get a message. Load plan started. Very good. Click on OK. And next you are going in operator tab. That's where you monitor all the execution. For load plan execution, go to load plan execution section. Click on that and go to all executions, and right there the load plan which you just ran. Double click on that and the load plan run will open on the right side. Click on load plan, click on steps, and right there you can see all the steps from the load plan and monitor how they are running. You can see the first 2 steps ran in sequence. The first one got completed. Second one, there was a warning. We will find out what is that warning. To know the details behind each of these steps contains several tasks. For example, the second one went in warning. To understand what is that warning, click on session ID. Double click on the session ID and it will open the details screen. After that, click on steps. You can see that is load TRG customer has several steps, and under that steps, each steps has several tasks assigned to it. Some of those tasks went in error. If you want to see the error message, double click on any of those tasks which went in error. Let's say this task, drop staging CR table, that went in error. Maybe because that staging table does not exist. So double click on that, go down and you will see the message. It fails on the target table because table or view does not exist, and that is fine. Those are dynamic tables. It might not exist before, So you cannot drop the table, but the creation of the table was fine, so that is okay. Likewise, you can go to the details of each of the step at the task level, at the SQL level, which is being executed in that task, and monitor what SQL it is running, how many rows it got selected, whether there was any error, and you can find some of the information at this level too. It actually tells you was there any error, how many rows it selected, how many rows were inserted. All those details you can find in the